So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider fear and the role it plays in our lives. I believe fear doesn't play a good role in my life. I think fear has stopped me from doing a great deal many things, and that can be a good or a bad thing. I'll I'll give you that. I'll admit that. But at the same time, I think if I had less fear when it comes to the things that I want to do in my life, I would have done so much more. Right? Recognizing that fear is this voice in our heads that by default, let's doubt again a little bit. Like, didn't we do that yesterday? Like, yeah, but we're doubting again today. I have this almost like running joke with myself that I am a very needy lover to the universe, right? Where the universe has to painstakingly over and over again keep reminding me how much I'm loved, right? And I'll not be reminded of how much I'm loved by the universe for like 5 seconds, and I'll be like, oh, oh, the universe hates me. I am dramatizing a little bit, but you know what I mean. Joe being here saying, fear makes us operate on a lower frequency, which keeps us from seeing things from a higher perspective. Fear is one of the things that makes violence and chaos. Fear has a habit of removing reason. You know, Joe, I didn't even think about that when I was talking about my fear of climate change, right? That I was scared that it's going to make it harder for us to get along. But you mentioning that, I feel is even more affirmation to what's going on, right? That it is scared people that make decisions like that, not reasoning. And realizing that this unwillingness to budge is something that our collective species is coming to a point of saturation with. There's a lot happening on our planet right now. You friends know the news. What's the goings on? A lot, right? And I think we're definitely going to probably see a lot more turbulence, let's call it, before we find ourselves back in a state of calm. Best thing we can do for ourselves is show up in love, right? Your friends really have done that with me, and I really do appreciate it. Sam saying, I had a revelation about fear and the human body just last week. In the beginning, we had the singular perspective of wholeness with every living thing on earth. Yeah, Adam. Then Adam, the first idiot, Adam fucked us. I mean, into existence, quite literally. I should just add that because I'm imagining Adam just collectively doing something he shouldn't have done, and we were cursed. This curse came in the form of the separation illusion that pits every creature against every other and us against our own. Uh, that is an interesting take. I don't really take it as like an actual fact that that happened, right? Because again, I don't really like the idea of being a species of incest twice. You know, it happened twice. like with the flooding and then with Adam and Eve. Like that's just like a little bit too yucks to me. And it's also like there were Neanderthals and the Denisovans and all right. So yeah, like where am I going with this? Um, survival, fear of not surviving is why we've been separated, right? But now our collective species has come to a point where we are surviving. Like we're surviving so good. There's 8 billion of us on the planet at the same time, right? And it has now caused us to like reevaluate what surviving looks like and what surviving is and what we're surviving for. I feel our bodies weren't designed to feel fear, but we do because of the curse. Yeah, no, I don't know about that. We categorize our reality to handle the vastness of the world we live in at the cost of us realizing the truth of our world. So the reason I don't agree with that is again because of like maybe like a scale thing, right? Where the fearlessness that I feel normal, maybe the modern human being experiences is in not having lack, right? Feeling a sense of fulfillment, feeling a sense of wholeness, feeling like you have enough, right? There's a fearlessness that arises from that. When you don't have enough, that's when fear arises because then your survival is directly threatened, right? So in that way, it's not a curse as much as it's a matter of resource distribution. With there being 8 billion human beings on the planet simultaneously right now, and during the time the Bible was written, there was like a few 100,000, right? At least when it was starting, when the Adam and Eve thing apparently was happening, there were like two. So suddenly it's like the resource distribution equation, so it's yeah, it's like procreation and there being more of us and us having to compete to exist and survive in this experience. And that's not a curse. That's just kind of the reality of it's up to us and our godly ability to change our reality to the point where we have enough energy and we have enough resources to not have to fight over it anymore. Right? Not a curse. It's a problem to be solved. Becoming aware of the separation. I think I maybe did I miss? Okay, no. Becoming aware of the separation, that there's more beyond what we know, allowing the unknown to cause fear. Why do we do that? Self-preservation? I think so. In the Jovan, the separation gives us an understanding of self, and we would not be driven to protect that self if we saw it as inherent in every being. There were two. The allegory of the apple of Adam and Eve being the first and only humans on earth. That's to make the truth easier to swallow. It's not really the truth. It's a comfy allegory. Yeah, like again, I think the entire Bible should be interpreted as a psychological drama that you read to inference information from yourself, right? To read this psychological drama and to be like, oh, I have noticed in my life how this kind of psychological drama has played out here and there and like this and like sus, right? And in that way, there's value to be extracted from thousands of years of human beings writing psychological drama, right? Experiences that are normal for human beings to have that can be gleaned information from. Thinking about it from the perspective of the Bible was written to help educate the masses, right, about how to live a good life, or at least what the church deemed a good life, right? And the church was very much attached to, I want to call it, let's just call it police, right? Like the first inklings of what police is was church related. I think maybe I might be wrong on that, but I'm running off a spitball here right now, right? So yeah, it's easier to police people by mind than it is to police people by force. And then we're back to just like what I believe religion is for the most part. It's like a kind of thought policing. Okay. Our ego telling us we're separate because our human perspective is unique limits our ability to see our interconnectedness. The fact that we can accurately comprehend numbers. Man, that's a video explaining how we can comprehend what a billion looks like, right? I think technically humans can only count up to 4, technically, right? And you're like, no, isn't Mel? I can count to 10. I mean, look at my 10 fingers. And I'm like, no, actually, apparently, let's just say that, right? When it comes to being able to just count something based on looking at it, right? Not a single each one out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not counting, right? Technically, counting is being able to look at something and know the amount of number that there is of that thing. It's 4. That's where our counting ability falls apart, right? If there's more than 4, then we start having to count them. Like, okay, there's 4 plus 1. Okay, 5. Good. Good. I know. I know that's 5. Right. So a billion is so far out of the realm of even consideration for our species. We're playing in the big leagues now. And now the AI is coming online as well. Exactly, Javan. We weren't always built this way. The Indian religion tells the story a bit differently, as they all do. But the truth is that once we were whole with ourselves, and now we're not. Yeah, and you can think about like our DNA that is switched off as well. Like there's a bunch of different markers like that. The darkest vices of the human heart are so because they drive us to self-protect at the risk of harming others. Yeah, I feel like, is that irony? I don't know if that's the right use of the word irony. It's like, yeah, I'm going to protect this thing that is the self, and then you go and do that by hurting the thing, the other things that is the self, right? Still, it's like, I am putting my own finger in my own eyeball. Being human, be like, my heart, I feel for those who fear. My heart, I envision those who fears just a little bit less today. They fear just one thing less. Maybe they fear dogs. And before they know it, suddenly a cute dog is asking them for pets instead of biting them. And then they have that aha moment of like, oh wow, dogs aren't that bad. Boom, less fear. Just that much could already make a difference for us all, I think. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. I'm going to turn this off so you can hear what I'm listening to. I think the noise cancellation does help, but my ears do not have noise cancellation. So my brain is not having a good time right now. No sound. Did you know that when you listen to music, it takes up a lot of your brain's processing power and interconnectivity? I think if that is what happens with music, I think other sounds do the same, but sometimes destructively. Hearing grinding sounds makes it feel like my brain is getting grinding. Yes, I intended to say it exactly like that. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. Thank you. Thank you for spending a moment here as well. It really is a pleasure having you, friends, here. I hope you have a good day, one filled with hope instead of fear, one where every single time you find yourself making a fear based decision, you steer yourself in the right direction. I hope to see you, friends, again soon. See you even more fearless the next time. And I appreciate you. I love you all. You too, Xiao. Samuel, Abamala, Jamala. You as well. The friends that were lurking in the background. I love you, Xiao. Thank you for loving me too. I'll see you, friends, again soon, tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Love you.